Welcome back to another insightful episode of Nature and Environment Discussions. Emma, let's dive right in. What exactly do we mean when we talk about pollution?
Great question, David. Pollution essentially refers to the introduction of harmful substances or products into the environment. For instance, when vehicles release exhaust fumes, it leads to air pollution.
That's a clear explanation. But Emma, don't you think our daily habits, like using plastic bags, contribute significantly to pollution?
Absolutely, and it's not just plastic bags. Our lifestyle choices, like excessive use of fossil fuels, play a huge role. However, many people still believe their individual actions don't make a difference.
True, and that's a common misconception. A report by the UN states that individual efforts can collectively lead to substantial environmental improvements.
Indeed, I remember a story of a small town that reduced waste by 30% in a year just by promoting recycling. It shows the power of community action.
Fascinating. Looking ahead, how do you think technology can help us tackle pollution more effectively?
Well, innovations like carbon capture and eco-friendly transport options are game changers. As technology evolves, we have more tools at our disposal to combat pollution.
Now, let's shift gears to something more proactive. Emma, what role do community cleanups play in addressing pollution?
Community cleanups are vital. They not only help clean the environment, but also raise awareness about pollution's impact. They foster a sense of responsibility among participants.
I agree, but some might argue that these activities are just a drop in the ocean. How would you respond to that?
That's a valid point, but consider this. Each cleanup event educates and inspires. The ripple effect can lead to larger initiatives like policy changes or corporate responsibility programs.
That's encouraging. I read a study showing that towns with regular cleanups report higher community engagement and lower pollution levels.
Exactly. I recall a beach cleanup I attended last year. We collected over 200 pounds of trash, and it was heartening to see local businesses getting involved too.
In the future, do you think integrating digital platforms can enhance these cleanup efforts?
Definitely. Apps that track participation and impact can motivate more people to join. Plus, social media can amplify the message and reach a broader audience.
Emma, shifting focus to solutions, how can we communicate effectively about tackling pollution?
Communicating solutions in simple terms is key. Phrases like reduce, reuse, recycle resonate well. It's about making sustainable practices relatable and actionable.
But some feel these messages can be overly simplistic, possibly undermining the complexity of pollution issues. What are your thoughts?
I understand that concern. However, starting with simple actions can lead to deeper understanding and commitment. It's about building a foundation for more complex discussions.
True. A survey showed that people who start with small actions often become advocates for larger environmental causes.
Yes, and I've seen this firsthand. A friend of mine began by switching to reusable bags and now leads sustainability workshops.
Interesting. In the long term, how can we ensure these conversations lead to lasting change?
By integrating environmental education into schools and workplaces, ensuring that the next generation is more informed and proactive about pollution solutions.
Emma, stories are powerful. Can you share a personal story that inspired you to take action against pollution?
Absolutely. A few years ago, I visited a coastal town where the beach was littered with plastic. Seeing the impact on marine life firsthand pushed me to volunteer for local cleanups.
That's powerful. But some might argue personal stories can be too emotional, detracting from factual discussions. How do you balance the two?
It's about weaving facts into narratives. For instance, while sharing my story, I also discuss statistics on plastic pollution and its effects on ecosystems.
I see. A study by Yale suggests that personal stories combined with data can enhance public awareness and drive action more effectively than data alone.
Exactly. Humanizing data makes it relatable. I've seen people more moved to act after hearing a child's story about polluted playgrounds than plain statistics.
Looking to the future, how can we use storytelling to further amplify environmental causes?
Through diverse media like podcasts, films, and social media, we can reach wider audiences, making environmental stories a part of everyday conversations.
Emma, let's talk practicality. What are some simple steps listeners can take to reduce their environmental footprint daily?
Certainly, actions like using public transport, reducing plastic use, and conserving water are impactful. It's about incorporating these habits into daily routines.
Some argue that individual actions are insignificant compared to industrial pollution. How do we address that viewpoint?
While industries play a large role, collective individual actions can shift demand, influencing corporate practices and policies. It's all interconnected.
I read a study showing that consumer-driven demand for sustainable products has led to significant changes in the packaging industry.
Yes, and I've seen local cafes eliminate plastic straws due to customer requests. It shows the power of consumer voices.
What future trends do you see in everyday environmentalism that could make a big impact?
I foresee more smart home technologies aiding in energy conservation and increased accessibility to sustainable products, making eco-friendly living the norm.
Emma, as we wrap up, let's discuss the future of environmental advocacy. Where do you see it heading?
The future lies in integrating technology with advocacy. Digital platforms can amplify voices and connect global activists, creating unified movements.
Some critics worry that online activism lacks the impact of traditional methods. What's your take on that?
Both have their strengths. Digital activism reaches a wider audience quickly, while traditional methods offer personal engagement. A hybrid approach is ideal.
According to a recent report, campaigns that utilize both online and offline strategies are 60% more effective in achieving policy changes.
Yes, and as we move forward, it's crucial to leverage both avenues to create comprehensive environmental strategies.
Before we go, what's one forward-looking insight you have for aspiring environmental advocates?
Stay informed and adaptable. With rapid technological and societal changes, being open to new ideas will be key in driving sustainable futures.